Baking the perfect cake, to foil or not to foil.
Hello, passionate bakers. Today, we're going to explore a common question that arises in our cake baking adventures. You might be wondering, how long should I cover the cake with foil while baking? This topic often stirs up a lot of confusion, but worry no more. We'll answer it thoroughly in this video.
Why would you want to cover a cake with foil?
Baking a cake can sometimes be a bit tricky. Depending on the recipe in your oven, you may find that the top of the cake browns or even burns before the middle is fully cooked. To prevent this, some bakers suggest covering the cake with a piece of aluminum foil. The foil essentially acts as a shield, preventing the top of the cake from overcooking while the rest of it finishes baking. However, this isn't a technique to use blindly. It must be done at the right time to get the best results.
When and how long to cover the cake?
You shouldn't cover the cake with foil from the beginning of the baking process. This is because the cake needs initial exposure to heat to allow it to rise properly. A good rule of thumb is to check on the cake about 2/3 through the recommended baking time. If the top is browning more quickly than you'd like, this is the time to add the foil. Cover the cake loosely with foil, ensuring that it's big enough to not touch the top of the cake. This will help avoid ruining your cake surface. As for how long to keep the cake covered, you'll typically want to keep it covered for the remaining third of the baking time. However, you should always do the toothpick test, inserting a toothpick into the center of the cake and checking if it comes out clean, to ensure that the cake is fully cooked.
Any other precautions?
Yes, there are a couple more points to keep in mind while using foil. Firstly, be careful not to cover the cake too tightly. The foil should form a loose tent over the cake, not cling tightly to it. Secondly, while the foil will slow down the browning, it won't stop it completely. So you still need to keep a close eye on your cake, even with the foil on. Baking is part science and part art. Foil can certainly be a handy tool when baking a cake, but it's essential to use it judiciously. With this guide, we hope you're now confident in deciding when and how long to cover your cake with foil while baking. Here's to the perfect cake. Happy baking!